The Visionary Voices podcast is a student led project created for educational and experimental purposes only. It is intended to encourage dialogue, empower peers, and provide entertainment. The content should not be taken as professional advice. The participants are not experts in the topics discussed. The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are solely those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of Central Texas College or Net Impact headquarters.
Hey, hope y'all day going as good as mine is. Hey, hello, how are you, man? Hey, thank you for joining the #1 podcast in Central Texas. To my right of me, you know what I mean, I got boss lady herself, Miss Wonder Woman, Miss Nakia Phillips. And on the ones and twos, we got Superman himself. Hard work is not kryptonite to this man. It's Mr. Donald Sturkey.
Dark Kent, y'all.
And on the left, I got Batman himself. His superpower is, I'm rich. Mr. Kenyon Bats. And I am your host, Mr. B. Brooks, a.k.a. the Joker's nephew. I'm always into something. How y'all doing today, man?
Doing good.
I had to pause for a minute. It's still Monday? I thought it was Tuesday.
I was about to say.
Tuesday. I thought it was Tuesday.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for Texas to give us our fall. They just elongated the summer. Every day I pull back the curtains, I'm like, again.
Oh, yeah. Hey. You're the queen of wishful thinking. It ain't gonna happen. You might not get one. We might go straight into winter. And speaking of winter, this October is gonna be it's getting pretty cold financially. Yes, we are talking about the national debt. It is still up to us to make things happen and to fix it. And yeah, that's what we go get into. It's serious. All right, because we talking about, you pause when you think about 37.5 trillion and climbing, being how we just gave $20 billion away. So it's still climbing. All right, it's still climbing. So, how do we fix it? Well, today's episode, we're talking about, I know y'all didn't know this exists, but there is a debt clock. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's a debt clock.
Mm-hmm. Goes up all the time.
Goes up.
Every second.
Should we get into the history of the debt clock? I have the resources here. So if you go to usdebtclock.org, you can see what we currently know as the debt clock, and it has a bunch of different things that the government spends on, including like interest on the debt, credit card debt, like it's broken down into a bunch of different sections. But the first debt clock was installed in 1989 near Times Square by real estate developer Seymour Durst, and it was a public warning about government overspending.
Seymour?
Seymour.
He wasn't saying enough?
Seymour.
Seymour wasn't saying enough, huh?
He certainly wasn't.
He should have said it sooner.
Seymour.
Seymour.
Anyway, it was a warning to the public about government spending. I know Donald said he remembers seeing it when he was.
It was a thing. Walking down the street and 42nd Street, you in the middle of people spending money and having a good old time and going to see movies, and you look up and it's this gigantic number just clicking off. Everybody's like, minding my business. And I'm like, is anybody else seeing this number? Nobody's asking what this is. Mm-hmm. Nobody cared. Now that I know, oh boy.
So what are some of the things that they spend on? Like, you had name, what's the #1 thing?
Social Security.
Social Security. I just wanted to throw that back out there to keep everybody in the know. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because our #1, we spend money on staying alive.
But the crazy thing is that the national debt is mostly owned to us, but it's spent.
That's why
I don't know.
I mean, listen, all of it is owed to us. I mean, but just listen, all of it is owed to us. Some of it we have to spend. It's just that when you overspend. That's really what it comes down to, right? It's the overspending. It's spending when you don't have it, which is, amazing. Because when you spend when you don't have, and yet still some people still get checks, it's amazing.
Right.
Okay, when you can get a raise, but we're overspending. It's just amazing. Like how do you do that?
By the way, hey, look, the opinions expressed here are not the opinions of Net Impact or CTC. All right, just letting that be known. The opinions expressed here, because you're gonna hear a lot of opinions expressed here, are not that of CTC or the #1 organization in the country,
No.
Net Impact.
Now, granted, there will be some facts that we're given from the Peter G. Peterson Foundation. I mean, let's just make sure we're clear on that.
Right.
However, yes, you're right. There may be some things that are not quote unquote, by the book. I just got the side eye just now.
I got a question. Has the clock ever stopped?
No. I know that the physical one was like taken down in the 1990s, and then they put a new one up in 2008, not physical, but digitally. And that's the one that we go by now. And it's always moving. If you guys look up the website, usdebtclock.org, you will literally see the numbers moving.
Mm-hmm.
And it's constantly going up.
It's just going.
Do anybody else phone do this? Like right when you looking up something in front of people, and just want to move slow?
No, I have an iPhone.
Oh, you bougie.
That was an Android slap right there.
Android slap. Wow. It's US Debt, what? US Debt Clock.
usdebtclock.org.
Dot-
Just kidding. iPhones are janky.
What?
No, don't change it up now. You know already.
They are.
Yeah,
All these phones are janky. It's just a key to consumerism. How we doing over there, Mr.
Talking that talk.
Batman?
We're doing all right.
Before we go any further, being that we're talking about consumerism and being that we're talking about how wonderful this show is, I just want to ask everybody, who's listening, who's paying attention, if you have a moment and you have some time, I want you to check out Creative Prints. We've got a wonderful, our first bit of merch is coming out. Visionary Voices t-shirts
What?
will be up and running by the time this show hits the
mad.
airwaves. So yeah, get yourself a Visionary Voices t-shirt. And on the next episode, we'll probably be having those shirts on. So.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. For anybody need to know, my size is greatness. You know what I mean? Like, make sure I get that right there. Already. I'm trying to gain weight. Try to get my weight up. You know what I mean? Swole around the shoulder area at least.
But can we get some more facts on the debt clock? I like where that was going. That was some really good information.
I want to put
More
something
history.
in perspective real quick.
Oh, please do.
So if we stack our debt using $1 bills and use it to bridge to the moon, we could go 10.8 times.
What?
Huh?
Wow.
Wow.
That's insane to me.
That's insane.
That is
Like, I have another one too.
heartbreaking.
Sir, excuse me. The national debt is over 37 trillion, which can equal $100,000 per U.S. citizen.
I don't even know what $100,000
Like, if
look
we
like.
all had $100,000, that would actually add up to 34 trillion. So that's still 3 trillion
Wow.
less than the national debt.
Wow.
That's insane.
3 trillion less than the national debt. Did you just say that with a straight face? That's 3 trillion less than the national debt.
So we still in debt. So, question on the debt clock: Why do the numbers move? Like, why do they move so fast? Is it because we're always spending, or?
It's because we're always spending. We're spending, like Donald said, when we don't have money. Because the debt clock is only showing us like what we owe, not just what we're spending.
What-
So that means that we're constantly at a deficit because we're spending more than we're collecting.
No, I haven't taken econ yet, so I'm curious on how does the U.S. borrow money?
Through grants, right? Do they still do that?
Are you guessing?
Yeah.
Don't guess.
Okay.
So the government borrows from quite a few different places. The main place that that we as a country borrows our money from is actually the Federal Reserve. It's from the federal bank, from the World Bank, essentially. Essentially, what happens is that other countries kind of bankroll a bank, or rather, a bank bankrolls other countries. and they will issue a certain amount of credit towards a country, and in this case, America, let's just say. And we then use that money in order to guarantee a certain amount of banknotes that will be made during that time frame. You understand? They'll basically start making more money to back up that loan. And we circulate it in whatever way is necessary, whether it be paying off, other debt. Well, we never actually pay off the debt. We pay the interest to the tune of $2.5 billion a day.
2.5 what? Say that again?
Billion.
2.5
Billion a day.
billion a day.
Mhm.
Wow.
So 2.5.
That part.
Ooh, I'm gonna behave
That
myself.
part. But yeah, so to answer your question, yes, it's basically we basically borrow money from the primary form of borrowing that we do is from the World Bank and or the Federal Reserve. However, countries do borrow from other countries. Just let's make sure we're clear on that. I mean, it's sometimes seen as an investment in infrastructure or investment into certain things. But yes, America's been known to borrow from China and Russia, and maybe not Russia so much, but definitely other places. So it's a varied thing, but it happens, and it happens more often than it should.
That's
Did I answer your question? I mean, did you?
Yeah.
Did you please, somebody please check me at the PetersonFoundation.org. Any other questions, sir?
Are there any factors like recently that helped this acceleration of the growth of debt that we occurred?
Oh man.
You just had to go. Had to go there. How about I turn this around on you? How about I ask you? Do you think that there are any factors?
Flag on the play. Spin the block.
The big beautiful bill.
Mm.
That's something that's been,
Mm.
that hasn't been helpful to the
Mm.
debt clock
Mm-hmm.
and our debt, because it was past mid-2025 and it includes sweeping tax cuts, spending provisions, and changes estimated by the CBO to add trillions to the debt over time, So there are definitely a couple different factors. That's just one of them. That's just one of them.
Well, here at the Visionary Voices, hold on. As the devil's advocate, and as the elder statesman in the building, I just like to point out, speaking from that advocacy seat, that yes, there may be some factors that has driven our debt to be where it is at this moment. However,
Allegedly.
this has been an ongoing problem since the presidency of Andrew Jackson in the 1840s. So this is not a new thing. Overspending has always been, it is, as they say, a feature and not a flaw. Like it is something that actually exists, that all governments on both sides, we're bipartisan here. We're nonpartisan technically. Both sides spend more than they should. The very few presidents who did spend least ended up spending more anyway because they were spending it on social programs. Right. So, whether it be a Democratic Party, whether it be a Republican Party, whether it be Dixiecrat or otherwise, we're talking about a system in which spending more is always the option.
Yeah.
So we just need to be clear that when we're talking about overspending, let's not just point a finger unless we're pointing a finger at the entire system.
I got you.
Okay.
Right. You can't be picky.
I mean, it's true. I mean, you got to call a spade sometimes.
Yeah, because not one person
It's not.
just racked up $37.5 trillion.
No,
Nah.
not at all.
Nah.
I
bet if
definitely
y'all
noticed
wanted
with
to-
my research that, never mind.
If y'all want to give me that type of money, I'll try. Y'all want me to? I'll try it for you just so y'all can
You
see
gonna
what
make it
it
happen?
really
You
like.
gonna make it happen?
Cause I want my people to experience what it really feels like.
Oh, okay,
you know?
okay. I can
see
dig
it
it.
in real time. So anybody with that kind of money and you want me to blow it for you, give me a call.
You
No,
go ahead and spend that check
I'll
for
be
you.
in here like Scrooge McDuck, swimming through some coins. Like,
right. So if you've ever seen the U.S. debt clock, you know it's one of the most anxiety-inducing websites for real. Because you sit there looking at money just go up, and when you know that you have to pay into that,
yeah.
it's like what? So let me ask y'all a question: Do you think it's important, or do you think we even know actually where our money is really going?
Somebody knows.
I'm quite sure they do. I don't. Who do we find out where our money is going from? And this is actually a real question. Like where who do we trust to tell us where our money is actually going?
So there's gonna be a QR code that's gonna pop up on the screen, and that's a very good question that you ask. And it's important that people understand. You're gonna take a pledge. We're gonna hope that people who are watching and people who are paying attention, they jump on our QR code and they take a pledge to make sure that there are enough of us to let the people in power know that we don't want the debt to keep going up the way it is going up, that we actually care. Because when you see how much they spend money, how much is spent, it's like you said, it's an astronomical amount. And what it's being spent on, yes, there are some things that need to be done. Like you got to have Medicare, you got to have Social Security. It's important that we keep the military up. It's important that R&D is there. It's important that infrastructure is a thing and that they're actually spending it on it. As far as how much is being divvied up over a certain amount of time, that just depends. That just depends on the pressure that's being put on. And right now, I don't think enough pressure is being put on. So when people see that QR code pop up on the screen, hopefully that'll be something that they'll be willing to, put themselves out there for and be willing to let their voices be heard. Because that's the only way this is really going to change. We really have to be willing to say something, stand up, and be willing to do something about it. Quiet. What they say, the quiet hinge don't get the oil. It's the squeaky one that does.
And that's the lovely thing about the website that we mentioned earlier is that it doesn't just mention like the national debt, but it breaks down all the debts that we have to kind of show where that is going or like what the money is being used for. That's why I hesitated when you asked that question. I'm like, in what terms do you mean like where our money is going? Like the national debt, like our money that's going into the government? That is such a...
allow me to elaborate. What I mean by that is because I was waiting for an entrance in to that avenue. Thank you, Wonder Woman. Yes, I want y'all to understand something. Anything I do, she approved it. So, no, the reason I asked that question is because I see a lot of blame game. It's this fault, it's that fault, it's on social products, it's on the military, it's because of this. We wasting that. Who do you actually now that you have something you can see it right there in your face? Like this is where this is going. This is where. So that's why I was asking that question because it's like people love to watch the news, TikTok, which is now I guess the holy grail of information now for a lot of people. I don't know, but it's right there in front of your face now. So I think the blame game and all that is kind of worthless. It needs to go to the top. And let it be known. That's just my little. What was that? What was that?
That's the devil's advocate.
It should have sounded like flames and a big roar. Like, here come the devil.
Does government spending start at the top? The answer is no. No, it does not.
Where did it start?
It starts in Senate. It starts in your local congressman. It starts with your aldermen. It starts at that level because those are the people who are voting for said bills. Those are the people who put forth spending bills. Those are the people who get put on committees like the Ways and Means the infrastructure, education.
That's
They
why
get
we're in a
put on-
shutdown right now because they can't agree on
Yes, sir.
spending.
So, are you telling me that our local elections matter?
Bro, do they ever? And I'm glad you said it that way because, yes, local elections do matter because these are the people that you actually send into these rooms that you'll never be in
Right.
to make rules about spending. What are we spending our money on? Are we fixing schools? Are we fixing roads? Are we, are we keeping Social Security? Are we doing it at a rate that works? Or are we just chilling? Are we just letting people just do what they want and we just trusting that they're going to do the right thing? And the answer is if you want to blame the people at the top, then you might as well just be blaming yourself because you put the people in place that basically vote for these changes and for these expenditures that are happening in the government. It's not so much the person at the top. It's not.
Well, wait a minute, Superman. Are you saying our votes matter?
That's exactly what I'm saying, Joker.
So we should vote.
We should vote.
No, because you hear it all the time. Why does my vote matter? Why it don't matter? They gonna put whoever they. You hear it all the time. But the fact of the matter is that that's a big falsehood.
That's a huge falsehood.
Even if it's just voting for your mayor, it all matters because those are the people that are going to speak on your behalf.
Everybody wants to point fingers and poke fun at the figurehead, right? And there may be times when the figurehead does a lot of really, crazy things or says a lot of crazy things. But the bottom line is that person is still doing the bidding of the people who you are supposed to be voting to put into place and to make these rules up, to allow these people to have different powers. That's the problem that most people don't realize. Oh, it don't matter who I vote for because they're gonna put who they want in the White House. You're probably right about that on some level, but guess what? That's not the election that counts. The election that counts are the people that you send to represent you in the White House. I mean, in Washington, in your local, congressional district, like that's the ones that count. Those are the people that make the rules. Those are the ones who sit down and say, yeah, we're getting rid of all the schools in this area. We're cutting off funding because, we don't want certain types of behaviors or books or whatever the current thing might be. Those are the people that actually create change.
Yes, absolutely. Actually, I believe it was Texas government, I learned the different political cultures. There's traditionalistic, moralistic. There's one I'm forgetting. That's what I'm trying to look up.
Oh, traditionalistic.
Oh, individualistic.
Individualistic.
And these are what cultures?
So they're political cultures. So it's basically how people respond to political
Discourse.
Okay.
discourse in that area. So the South, or specifically Texas, has a more traditional individualistic view on government, which traditionalistic is the views that government is a tool to maintain and exercise social order and status quo, with political power concentrated among small elite.
Oh.
Sounds like never mind.
Careful now. Careful.
Okay.
Oh.
And then
Just
individualistic.
speak to folks. And where are you getting this information from? I just want to make sure. So people don't think that you're just kind of pulling this one out.
Well,
out of thin air.
honestly, when I first learned it, it was from a textbook. But right now it's on
Listen.
West Texas A&M University.
Okay.
So www.wtamu.edu.
Okay. And an EDU site. So that's reputable.
Yes.
Okay. I like that. I love scholarly sites, and so that people understand that this is not information that can't be easily found.
Yes. Okay, so individualistic is a government view as a marketplace where individuals and competing groups pursue for their self-interests. They see politics as a way to provide services only when the public is in demand. So they only vote if they have something that they're voting towards. They don't just vote every year just because that is your moral duty as a civilian and
Citizen.
Wait.
as a citizen in America. So that's what moralistic is.
Okay.
That one is more like
That was
they
moralistic?
believe that you should No, the one I'm talking about right now.
Is
The one
moralistic.
previous was individualistic.
Okay.
Moralistic is like you just have that duty to vote. Like you feel like it's the right thing to do, and it's your role to create a good society, add to public good. And that is more what I've recognized in more cities rather than like more urban, not urban, more suburban.
Rural.
Yeah, rural, not even suburban. Suburban to me is still like kind of like the outskirts of a city. They still have like more moralistic views, in my opinion.
City adjacent.
Yeah, but definitely more rural areas.
And it's only those three?
That's the only three I learned. There could be more.
Ooh, I got a question. All right, so let's go around the table. Go around the table.
He looks like he got some notes straight from.
Go ahead.
Government
Hold
class.
on, brother. You got some. I see you're waiting with
I had
bated
a
breath.
que- yeah, that
Hold on
was
before
rude.
before
I'm
we get to your
telling.
question. No,
Yeah,
before we
no,
get to your
I'm
question, 'cause I already
telling
know where you're going.
I'm going to boss right
already
now.
know where
I'm
you going.
Texting boss.
I already know. Boss.
So there
One of
are
our phones ring.
there are amendments that we vote on every 2 years in Texas. Y'all know we vote on 8 to 12 amendment every 2 years.
What?
So,
And they
like,
almost always get approved in Texas because of people voting for them or the people that care, and everybody else just minds their business.
yes, there's countless amendments that have been amended since the last constitution that Texas ratified. And the voter turnout for these constitutional amendment elections are 8 to 12% of eligible voters. So that kind of struck me as insane because like these are things that actually make a difference, and we actually have a voting this year, I believe.
In November.
So
So if you have to be registered already a month
Yeah.
before, so please do it now. It's not
Go
too late.
get registered. Now, does if the government is still shut down, does that affect state
No.
votes?
no, because that is statewide, not national.
So what they do up there, if they can't get their stuff together and they locked out, they still work down here.
Because
Yes, that's emulated powers, national, or is that state?
They're
They're different
numerated and wait,
I think it's enumerated.
enumerated and I forgot the other one.
I love educated children. boy. Y'all make me so
Honestly,
proud.
Shout out
Right.
Dr. Mack.
Yes,
He's
shout
our
out Dr.
government
Mack.
teacher. He teaches it in such a fascinating way, and I don't even feel like he tries. Like it's just
Natural.
the people that it clicks to, it just clicks to. I love those classes
Me
so
too.
much.
Enumerated.
But
you know?
yes, it's just a separate power. They have not no control, but originally when we made the Constitution, was it in America, that we separated state powers and government powers.
Right.
So
And
Separation of church and
The-
state.
Church,
Separation.
state.
Of,
the pendulum
The-
swung
the-
a couple times. Like you have more power for the states and then more power. I feel like actually no. It definitely swung for more power for the states, and then after FDR was it? I think the government gained more power.
we're
when it
not going to
came-
have this conversation about states' rights.
That's another episode. If we can pull that off, that's another episode.
No,
I
but
think
absolutely
elections
Yeah,
are
yeah.
run by counties as well.
Yes,
so.
sir.
they are.
Yes, sir.
Stay tuned for Visionary Voices After Hours.
There's actually in Texas
Behind the scenes.
specifically, it's actually a special case. Well, from my understanding, I'm not sure how many other states do this, but a lot of little things are in our amendments rather than just being like a rule or like something that can be put into place at a lower step because it's harder to replace amendments. So let's say people who are in agriculture make a whole amendment cater to people in agriculture when it's only like 10% of people in this state, hypothetically.
Hypothetically.
But they do that so when another governor or whoever comes in, they can't just make those changes. It's just more power for them. But I think we're steering too much into the government ting.
I mean, it's almost one. It's almost one. Like it's like buying a value meal. You got a burger, you got fries, you got a drink, and you might even get a toy. That's kind of how this conversation works. When you're talking about the national debt, the government definitely involved. The states is involved, and we, the people, is involved. You know, so you ain't going too far off. But okay, so I got a question. As far as because I believe we're all here voters, right? Do you see yourself as traditionalistic, Individualistic or moralistic?
Moralistic.
You see yourself moralistic? Like I have a duty to vote.
I say a mixture between individual and moralistic.
Okay.
What about you?
I definitely, when I first heard these three, I definitely resonated with more moralistic, but that I feel like was just based off the time that it was when I was learning this information. It's around presidential election. It definitely depends. I don't feel like, I don't know. It's definitely a mix because I feel like, yes, I should, but moralistic also means like this what you should be doing. You should feel guilty if you don't vote. And I feel like that's not always the case. Even though I do vote every time, guys. I'm only 22, so this past year, like,
And that's why
I've only voted in Texas. Let's just
And
say
that's
that.
why I was asking y'all that specifically, mostly you two, because of the age difference and like just starting to vote now and seeing like, okay, you voted when you was 18. If there was an election at the time, you probably wasn't an election, but you voted. So like with this being maybe your first or second time voting, it's like, okay, you see everything different.
I think maybe I'm moving into more moralistic, but I wasn't in the past, and it's very common in our generation to feel like the traditional. Our generation is more individualistic in the sense of we vote when something is going on
That
rather
affects
than
you
just
personally.
right
Mm-hmm.
or affects the community personally,
Right,
which
'cause
is
y'all don't have a sense of civic duty at all.
don't say y'all.
So, Superman,
Huh?
would you consider yourself which
Say
one
what
of these
now?
three?
I can't hear you. What?
Oh, you like me? We hybrids. So we just go. I'm a hybrid. What year is it? What year is it?
So, I would probably say that I'm more of a traditional. I'm more traditionalistic. Because I am conservative. I'm gonna keep it all the way real. Like I have my beliefs, and I hold my beliefs true. I have a very specific concept of how I see America, and where I think America needs to go. I also have a very high sense of responsibility to my culture and to my upbringing, and that would technically make me a George Bush Republican.
Yeah, technically. Technically.
Because of what we believe in, what we stand for, the types of things that we will accept and not accept from America, and where we really truly envision it going. We're not the Ronald Reagan era Republicans, city on a hill. But I think on an overall basis, like in that sense, I'm traditional because of what I believe. And when it comes to voting, I vote for what's in my best interest, my own self-interest. However, I do it on a grand scale. You know what I'm saying? I'm always thinking about, well, how I vote, how is that going to affect my daughter? How is it going to affect her kids? How is it going to affect, my mother, my brothers? You know what I'm saying? I always have to take that into account. And that in itself doesn't make it individualistic. You understand? It definitely makes it a more traditionalistic where I understand what my vote means. And I want to make sure that, everybody, that if I have to pass that on, I want to make sure that they understand that, hey, it's more than just a moral obligation. It's more than just how it affects you personally. This is something that we need to make sure we're doing regularly. This is something that has to happen. It's good. And, there's things that go along with it. I may have said too much.
Not at all. Not at all. No, I consider myself like a hybrid of some sort when it comes to
Same.
voting, because I didn't grow up voting. My family was totally different. But as I got older and when I started having kids, I started paying attention to politics and different things like that. So I find myself being a more right-leaning independent, more conservative-leaning independent. I mean, it depends on what we're talking about. You might get a yay or a nay. Because one thing I always believed in is to thy own self be true.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, yeah.
I always felt like I was a conservative Democrat, if that makes sense. That's just how I feel.
I mean,
but
listen.
we won't get into.
Listen, no person,
I just feel
especially not
I'm big
people
on
of
freedom
color.
of speech.
We're not a monolith.
Right.
We all have ideals. and we all have visions of what we think in our heads. So to be lumped into one little thing it's a very bad thing that a lot of people in this country do. They like to put you in a box and think that that's just where they are, or people that say, well, this is what I am. And even if they don't truly believe in the things that are going on around them, or they're not fully on board with what's happening, because they see themselves in this box, they just go with it.
Right.
And it's like it's such a bad thing.
Yeah. I don't think we should like rely on colors of blue or red. You know, I think however it affects you and what you believe in, you should properly make that adjustment. And this is just speaking from me, and not identify yourself with that political side, but see what is working best for you and see what's actually trying to be proactive in whatever you believe in.
Yeah, I feel that in every aspect of my life. Maybe my essay for school will be about like how I'm the epitome of dichotomy. Because literally, I feel like I did a speech actually when I was in high school to Montclair High School about how I never felt like I could fit into certain spaces. I was too whitewashed for the black spaces, too
black for the white spaces,
too ghetto for the, you know.
Ghetto, go there.
That's just.
I know what you're saying, though.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, I'm just using, like, what people. I'm not saying I identify as that, okay?
Yes, I know what you mean.
But I don't know. Even when it comes to politics, I'm like, I don't feel like I ever fit in a certain box. And I love the way you said that. Because it's like, yeah, we do push ourselves into certain boxes. And if we can't fit, we feel like something's wrong with us. When it's really, we have to create our own box.
It's like going to the grocery store. You take some from the milk aisle, take some from the cereal aisle, but
Did they go together?
There's no aisle that just has everything that you need.
yeah, exactly her point.
I love that.
He said exactly.
No,
her
exactly your point.
Well, exactly her word. You know, she put my point into she formed it better than I was.
So, question.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know?
I didn't know.
I didn't know.
I never know nothing.
Did you know?
I didn't know. I don't know.
I'm just a guy in a cape.
Nakai, do you know?
Why do we keep doing Did You Knows for the Up To Us podcast? I thought that was regular episodes. I'm not prepared.
Did you know it's extra episode? It's extra. All right, fine. I'm in trouble again.
No, I have
All right.
all the fun facts I have. I'm spewing out throughout
There you
the
go.
episode.
See, she's dropping gems the whole time. She said, lots of did you
Yo,
know.
son.
And he
it
stole
sounds like
one of
some
mine
traitorism
about-
over here. You know what I mean?
And then he
saying.
stole one of mine talking about Andrew Jackson, but it's not the 1840s. It was actually 1835.
Ooh. I guess we did you know, huh? The Joker
Did you know
always
that
gets
sometimes
his way,
Superman
baby.
gets it wrong? I'm just
The Joker always gets his way.
It was
you know that.
close. The U.S. debt has the U.S. has been in debt for nearly every year since 1776, which is the year of our independence. The only time it was fully paid off is, like Donald mentioned, under Andrew Jackson in 1835.
Whoa.
Also, if you looked at the debt clock for 1 minute out of your day, so if you decided to watch the debt clock instead of TikTok, it will grow by millions of dollars while you watched it.
that's just
Wow.
One TikTok.
One
TikTok.
TikTok.
how long is a TikTok? About
Well, it
30
can go up to
seconds?
10 minutes.
oh, wow.
It's
Well,
not mine.
I just watched it go up 1 million.
Whoa. Wow.
The clock even shows unfunded liabilities such as future Medicare or Social Security promises, adding to the real total cost.
That is crazy.
Well, that is a did you know? I didn't know that.
See,
See, and I wasn't ready. You always ready. That's why you are always. I'm not ready. You see me right. You see this? No glasses.
that's why she's Wonder Woman.
That's why you Wonder Woman. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm just here with my super empathy and my devil's advocate.
So
Yeah, so I know we talked about this earlier, how like we talked about basically how debt is inevitable, and basically the difference between parties is just what they're using it for rather than like the physical debt. But most economists argue that a certain level of debt is normal for growing the economy. It helps fund programs, infrastructure, and defense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The key issue is how fast the debt grows compared to the national economy. So the percentage of the deficit in comparison to the GDP.
How much are you making and selling in juxtaposition to how much you're spending?
135.40%.
That's how much
Obama
that's
had
current?
it down.
That's
135% right now. Not only your entire paycheck, but you're borrowing $35 more. That is just insane. And I mean, and
Wow.
and that's I'm not talking a percentage. Like if you made $100, not only are you spending $100, you're borrowing $35 to pay for stuff that you ain't got.
That's crazy.
I'm hurt.
I think that's how finances need to be taught. I'm gonna
like
tell
that.
you right now, just like that. You will never want. You will be the cheap. Ain't nobody going to Ruth Chris on the first date. Nothing. Ain't nobody buying that brand new car. They gonna go get that. I guess it's cheaper to fix it up. Ain't nobody doing none of
That's that we got McDonald's at the house money.
Facts. So hey,
Love
I would
y'all.
like to. I'd like to thank my partners in crime up here, man. I every day coming up here, I don't know. If I'm having a bad day, as soon as I get up in here and we get to work, and it just turns out great. I want to appreciate y'all for that.
All right, guys. Thank you
Hey,
for listening.
We thank y'all very much, and goodbye, farewell, Auf Wiedersehen,
So
good
long.
night.